Alzheimer's disease is the most common dementia. Dementias cause parts of the brain to stop working. Approximately 50% of people who live to the age of 65 will develop some form of it. Disease symptoms get worse over time until they prevent the patient from doing daily tasks. The most common symptom is the difficulty to remember new information, as the disease starts in the learning zone of the brain. When it progresses, there's disorientation, mood and behavior changes, confusion and suspicious attitude with close people. Finally, at the last stages, there's difficulty to perform easy tasks, such as speaking, swallowing, or walking, making them dependent on external help. Once it is diagnosed, patients usually live up to 5-8 more years. There are some genes associated with the most common type of Alzheimer. The most common one is a risk gene called apolipoprotein E. There are three forms: epsilon 2, which is the least common and appears to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's, epsilon 3, which is the most common and doesn't seem to affect, and epsilon 4, which is more common and increases the risk. There are some abnormal structures in a brain with Alzheimer. One of them is extracellular amyloid plaques. The principal component of these plaques is peptide beta amyloid, which can be processed in two ways: the non-amyloidogenic pathway in physiological conditions and the amyloidogenic pathway in neuropathological conditions. This second one can generate A-beta-42, which is toxic. The neurons around this usually are swollen and deformed, and they often cause an immune response by the brain's immune system, which may try to degrade and remove damaged neurons or the plaques themselves. Some studies show a decreased cerebral metabolism and an increased A-beta deposition in association with the number of epsilon 4 alleles. This is also associated with the hippocampus morphology. Some studies suggest more significant changes on the right hippocampus and others on the left. These contradictory results show that the effect of epsilon 4 load on healthy brains is still not clear. In an article called Nonlinear Interaction between APOE epsilon 4 allele lot and age in the hippocampal surface of cognitively intact individuals, they analyzed the shape, allowing the visualization of both the magnitude and the direction of the effect on the surface of the hippocampus, providing new information about the correct effect of epsilon 4 on hippocampal morphology. A linear and quadratic interaction between epsilon 4 allele lot and age on two different surface regions of the right hippocampus was shown. The results suggest that for late middle-aged healthy subjects, epsilon 4 exerts an effect on the hippocampal surface comparable to that observed in clinical stages of Alzheimer, but to a lower extent. There are currently just 4 drugs approved for treating Alzheimer's, which either help cell-to-cell communication or regulate the activity of a chemical messenger called glutamate. At the moment I'm just falling, just falling, as it were. I think of things and then they go away, forever. Iris Murdoch, author who had Alzheimer. Alzheimer.